What's up, YouTube? I'm Rob,
And this is Nick.
and today we're going to be talking about silver. And specifically, is silver a good investment or a good alternative investment? And the reason we bring this up is because now is an important time to be diversifying because, as you see and follow the markets, you don't want to be all in on specifically one thing, over leveraged, and you want to be able to diversify on potential downsides and hedge your investments. And recently, Nick has invested into some silver, which he's got as a demo for us today. Let's see what you got there, Nick. He's got the actual physical silver goods on him. But he's been investing in silver for years, but he's got some physical silver on him right now that I wanted to pick his brain about. So, Nick, why did you buy silver, and why do you think it's a good investment?
I first got turned on to silver as as an investment, as more of a hedge against the Federal Reserve with their crazy money printing that they started doing after the last financial crisis, like 2007, 2008. So we're talking like 14 years ago is when I started kind of making some larger investments into the silver market, specifically physical precious metals. And the reason I did that is because I saw what the Fed was doing by just being able to endlessly print money, and I knew that silver was a commodity, and it's there's a finite supply in the crust of this earth, and they mine more, and it's actually my when I fell in love with investing in silver because of its finite supply. When I later heard about Bitcoin and how it was mineable and it was a finite supply, that kind of turned me on to cryptocurrency a few years after that. So, in terms of an investment to make like massive gains, I don't think silver and gold are like a great investment for that. I just think it's more of it's good to have your portfolio diversified into some precious metals, just as a hedge against inflation. Because if the Federal Reserve decides they just want to start ramping up their money printing again, it's going to be good to have some physical gold and silver in your pocket, just if inflation does get bad. So that's kind of like my thesis on why I decided to buy some physical silver.
Why do you buy physical silver rather than just buying the actual stock and trading the paper version?
Several reasons. I mean, it's the same reason I hold most of my assets on cold storage for cryptocurrency. It's just a lack of faith in the third parties that would be holding uh, the ETF. I know there's like an ETF SLV, and yes, I do trust that it tracks the price of silver. But at the end of the day, if things get really bad, um, like I'm not expecting things to get really bad. I'm just preparing for the worst if things do happen. I don't want to be on here talking like some doomsday preacher. But it's always good to just have something in your back pocket in case, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, people didn't expect the Great Depression in 1929. And people were just caught off guard by that. So if something like that does happen again in the future, I'd just like to have myself diversified. I mean, I'm not talking like a large percentage of my portfolio. My physical silver only makes up maybe between 5 and 10% of my overall portfolio allocation, but it does help me sleep safe at night, knowing that if the financial system crumbles tomorrow, and we somehow go into like a bartering system where I need to go like get food from my neighbor, I can pass them off one of these cool little silver dollars, and people know that that's money because it's a scarce commodity. So yeah, that's that's pretty much why I like holding the physical versus holding an ETF or something like that. Any other questions you got, Rob?
So essentially, it's a store of value because it's a physical object, and in a worst case scenario, you can use it to buy, sell, and trade. But let's just say you have all this silver and you're like, all right, I want to get out of silver. I just want to sell it all off and then just pocket the cash because maybe the price moved up and you just want to cash out. or maybe you're over silver and you just want to cash out and put your money into something else. So if you have 5 to 10% of your portfolio sitting in silver, like how do you sell it? You got to ship it all back to someone, and they, give you the market price, or like how does that work?
It's I mean, you could go to any coin dealer in your local town or city, and they'll. I mean, most people would buy like this. These silver dollars are 90% silver, 10% copper. I think they hold about 3/4 of an ounce of silver each. So the actual silver face value of this is, what's silver trading at, like 18, $19 an ounce. So the actual silver value in each of these silver dollars is probably around like 14, $15. But there's also a numismatic value, because these are collector's items as well. Because the silver dollars, the date on this thing is what, 1922. Um, so these I could sell to any coin dealer for probably $30 a pop, because of not only the silver value but the coin collector value as well. So it's not that difficult to, but it's not that difficult to cash the silver in, but it's difficult enough that I can't just like go on Robinhood and press a button and liquidate my silver. I actually have to like go through a little bit of an effort, and I actually like that um, aspect of it because I'm a pretty impulsive person, and I know that like that's one of my weaknesses. So the fact that I have some cash on the side for emergencies in case I really need it, I didn't just like go blow my entire silver stack on like a day trade or something like that because I just pressed a button. Like it like is a store of value for me as well. So that's another reason I like silver as an investment, at least for myself.
What was silver trading at 10 years ago? Let's look at the chart.
I could tell you because it was like $8 or $9 an ounce, and it ran up to 50 like in 2011. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, yeah. I started accumulating silver around 2010 time frame, so around here, like after it dumped down to like $8 an ounce. But what was weird was like even when silver was down here on $8 an ounce, I remember the premiums to buy physical was like probably 40% above that. So you couldn't even get silver for $8 an ounce. You had to pay like $11, $12 an ounce if you wanted to buy it physical.
What
But
made it have that run up?
this run up right here,
Yeah.
I believe that was because of the money printing of the Federal Reserve following the financial crisis here, and also possibly a short squeeze. And you'll hear stories all over the internet that silver is heavily manipulated um, on the short side. The powers that be want to keep its value very low. Um, I don't 100% know why. It could be because I don't want to get into politics, but maybe they want to push like the green energy agenda, and a lot of silver goes into making solar panels and things like that. That's one thing I've thought of, that why they would want to keep the price low, because if you actually look at the real supply and demand metrics, um, there's a lot of people out there that say that we're going to be running very low on silver very shortly. So now is actually a great time to buy, based on at least from some of the experts that I follow. So that's another reason I'm accumulating. However, those experts have been saying this since 2010, 2011, and I watched it run up to 50 and got really excited back in 2011. And I mean, look at where we are now, $18 an ounce. So at this point, I just kind of like accumulate it. I don't anticipate it doing anything crazy. Although I know Robert Kiyosaki's out there right now saying $500 an ounce by next year, which I would love that, because I would actually finally get a chance to sell some of it, and I wouldn't be forced to sell it because of a divorce. I'd actually want to sell it because of a profit. It'd be nice.
Very interesting. I think it does have the value of, like we initially mentioned, where, worst case scenario, you have this store value that can be, you can use to buy, sell, and trade with on a local level. And as you're storing your money in a physical asset that you cannot easily trade with or liquidate. So it's just like you're safe keeping your money in an asset. So that's another advantage rather than having it in, stocks or crypto or real estate where, it's easier to buy and sell and also has more swings with the market. So interesting. I think silver is definitely a good alternative investment. Just depends on, where your portfolio is and how you want to allocate, um, what strategy you want to use to allocate what percentage to, crypto, stocks, real estate, silver. So that's just got to fit into your own personal strategy. Everyone else, everyone has their own risk tolerance, their own personal strategy. So we figured we just share what Nick is doing right now with his silver investing. So hope you got value from that. Anything else you want to add, Nick?
I'm just trying to find the oldest coin I have here. It's just I think it's kind of cool. That's why I like the silver dollars, because there's history behind these things. Like, you could imagine these could have been on like the Titanic even, or like, because like the dates on this is like 1896, 1883. I saw one that was like 100 years before I was born. It's just kind of cool knowing that like people actually handled these things. And I mean, most of the people that handle these coins that I have in my hand right now probably aren't even alive at this point. So it's just kind of cool, the historical aspect of the silver coins as well. But yeah, if you don't got anything else, just keep in mind, everyone, that everything we say here is not financial advice. And if you could please hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to grow this channel, and we just want to keep putting out content and sharing the investment knowledge that I've acquired over the last 15 years. So that's pretty much it.
All
See,
right, we'll wrap it up.
yep. See you guys next time.